The world knows many stories. We pass them down through generations. They teach us about heroes, about sacrifice, and about our history. The Trojan War is one of the greatest stories ever told. It is a tale of great warriors, a beautiful queen, and a decade of conflict. But what if the story we know is not the complete truth? The new animated series gives us a new perspective. It shows us that history has secrets. It reveals that Wakandan warriors were present at this legendary war, not as gods, but as observers and protectors, watching history unfold from the shadows. This series changes everything we thought we knew about our planet's ancient past. It's not just another historical retelling. It is a journey into the hidden history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For centuries, Wakanda has protected itself by staying hidden from the world. But that does not mean they were inactive. They sent their best warriors, their war dogs, to observe major world events. They gathered information and ensured that threats to humanity did not grow too powerful. The Trojan War was one such event. The series follows a brave Wakandan warrior sent to the ancient city of Troy. His mission was to understand the conflict and the strange powers at play, which were not divine but something else entirely. This new story asks a powerful question: what happens when you remove the gods from an ancient myth? The original tale of the Trojan War is filled with the meddling of Zeus, Hera, and Apollo. They chose sides and influenced battles. But in the MCU, these gods are not present. Instead, the incredible feats of strength and the seemingly magical events have a different source. Suggests that early forms of advanced technology, perhaps even early vibranium artifacts, were mistaken for divine power. This shifts the focus from the whims of gods to the choices of mortals, making their actions even more significant and their struggles more real. The series is designed to guide us, the audience, step by step through this reimagined history. It shows us familiar events like the gathering of the Greek fleet and the mighty walls of Troy. But it adds a new layer. We see these moments through the eyes of a Wakandan agent. This perspective allows us to question what is really happening. Is that a hero blessed by a god, or is he using a piece of technology he doesn't understand? This approach makes an ancient story feel fresh and exciting. It connects a myth from thousands of years ago directly to the high-tech, super-powered world of the Marvel Universe that we know and love today. To understand how much the MCU has changed this story, we must first remember the original myth. The Trojan War, as told by the poet Homer began with a divine argument. It started with a golden apple and a beauty contest between three goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. A Trojan prince, Paris, was asked to choose the most beautiful. He chose Aphrodite, who had promised him the most beautiful woman in the world, Helen of Sparta. This decision angered the other goddesses, who then swore to see Troy destroyed. This divine rivalry set the stage for the entire war, showing that the gods were the true puppet masters of the conflict. The war itself was a showcase of divine intervention. The Greek gods and goddesses were not passive observers. They were active participants. Apollo guided arrows to strike down Greek heroes. Athena gave strength and wisdom to her favored warriors like Diomedes. Poseidon shook the earth to help the Achaean forces. The fates of men were often decided not by their own skill or bravery, but by which god was supporting them at that moment. This made the war a grand cosmic chess game. The human warriors were the pieces, moved across the board by powerful immortal hands. Their struggles were epic, but they were not entirely their own. Heroes like Achilles and Hector were central to the story, but even they were tied to the gods. Achilles was the son of a sea nymph, Thetis, which made him nearly invincible. His mother constantly intervened to protect him and help him gain glory. On the other side, the Trojan hero Hector was beloved by Apollo. The gods gave these men incredible power, but they also used them for their own purposes. The conflict was deeply personal for the mortals involved, driven by honor and revenge. However, the larger narrative was always controlled by the whims and grudges of the beings who lived on Mount Olympus. Without them, the story would be completely different. The motivation for the war in the myth was also deeply intertwined with divine promises and human passions. When Paris took Helen to Troy, her husband King Menelaus of Sparta was enraged. He called upon his brother Agamemnon and all the kings of Greece to fulfill their oath to defend Helen's honor. This oath, combined with the desire for glory and the spoils of war, launched 1,000 ships. The war was officially about bringing Helen back, but beneath the surface it was about power, pride, and the inescapable will of the gods who had set these events in motion long before Helen ever met Paris. In the MCU's version of the Trojan War, the gods are gone. This changes the very reason for the conflict. Reveals that the war was not started over a stolen queen alone. Instead, it was secretly fueled by the discovery of a powerful energy source. This energy source, a small vibranium meteorite fragment that had landed near Troy centuries earlier, was the true prize. The Achaean kings, led by a cunning Agamemnon, used the story of Helen as a cover to invade and seize this powerful resource for themselves. They mistook its power for magic, something they desperately wanted to control. Wakanda knew the truth, and understood the danger this metal posed if it fell into the wrong hands. This is where Memnon enters the story. In the myth, Memnon was an Ethiopian king, a powerful ally of Troy, and a warrior mighty enough to face Achilles. He is redefined. He is a member of the Wakandan royal family, a skilled spy sent on a critical mission. His official story is that he is a prince from a distant powerful kingdom, bringing his armies to help defend Troy. This gives him access to the city's leaders and its secrets. His real mission is to locate the vibranium fragment and secure it before the Greeks can claim it. He must protect Wakanda's greatest secret while navigating a brutal war. Memnon's relationship with Achilles is a key part of this new narrative. As two of the greatest warriors on the battlefield, they develop a mutual respect. They see each other as equals, recognizing a shared strength and code of honor. In the MCU version, they form a bond, a friendship forged in the crucible of combat. Achilles is drawn to Memnon's quiet confidence and incredible skill, which seems almost supernatural. Memnon, in turn, sees in Achilles a great man who is being manipulated by greedy kings. He tries to subtly guide Achilles to make him see the truth behind the war, hoping he can end the conflict without revealing his true identity. The ultimate betrayal is what changes history forever. Memnon knows he cannot let either side win and gain control of the vibranium. He devises a plan that will bring the war to a devastating close. He is the one who gives the Greeks the idea for the Trojan horse. He presents it as a strategy to his Trojan allies, a clever trick to lure the Greek leaders into a trap. But it is a double cross. He ensures the plan will succeed for the Greeks, leading to the fall of Troy. During the chaos as the city burns, Memnon and his war dogs retrieve the vibranium undetected. He sacrifices a city and his honor in the eyes of history to protect the future of the entire world. Memnon's actions at Troy had a profound impact on the Marvel timeline and Wakanda's legacy. By securing the vibranium, he prevented it from becoming a weapon in the hands of warring ancient empires. Imagine if a ruler like Agamemnon had gained control of a metal that could absorb all energy. History would have been rewritten. Empires could have risen and fallen differently, and the world of the 21st century would be unrecognizable. Memnon's silent intervention ensured that humanity's development continued on its natural course, free from the influence of this otherworldly power. This single act cemented Wakanda's role as the secret guardians of the planet. This story enriches our understanding of Wakanda's isolationist policy. It was not born from fear, but from a deep sense of responsibility. The events of the Trojan War taught them a valuable lesson. The outside world was not ready for vibranium. They saw how greed and ambition could drive men to destroy entire civilizations for even a hint of greater power. This experience solidified their decision to hide themselves and their resources from the world. The story of Memnon became a cautionary tale, passed down through generations of Wakandan rulers and warriors, reminding them of the heavy burden they carry and the reasons they must remain in the shadows. The retelling of the Trojan War is more than just a clever twist. It is a powerful way to connect ancient myths to the modern MCU. It suggests that many of the legends and magical events of our past could have been related to advanced technology or extraterrestrial artifacts. This opens up endless possibilities for future stories. Were the Norse myths influenced by early visits from Asgardians? Was the legend of Atlantis connected to the Talakanil? By grounding these myths in the established rules of its universe, Marvel makes its world feel deeper, older, and more interconnected than we ever imagined. It tells us that superheroes and secret histories have always been with us. Ultimately, this adaptation is unique because it prioritizes purpose over divine fate. The original Trojan War was a story about destiny, where mortals were pawns in a game played by gods. The MCU version is a story about choice. Memnon chose to betray his allies to protect the world. Achilles chose to fight for honor in a war built on lies. The absence of gods makes the human element more powerful. It tells Marvel fans that history is not just something that happens. It is shaped by the actions of brave individuals, some of whom we will never know. It proves that the greatest heroes are often the ones whose stories are never told.